Welcome back to the Sports Source. This segment brought to you by Southeast Termite and Pest Control. You might be like me and just need standard pest control. You might be someone who's looking at it and says, boy, I need the crawl space encapsulation. Whatever you need, Southeast Termite and Pest Control can take care of it for you. They cover the whole area, too. Morristown, Maryville, Crossville, La Follette, South Gatlinburg, even Jamestown. SoutheastTermite.com to learn more. This is a group that's been doing it for 50 years here in East Tennessee, and they do it all across East Tennessee. Give them a shout. Figure out if you are in their coverage area, though you can tell right there you probably are. Southeast Termite and Pest Control, good people. All right, I went to the replay and I found out what we're doing in this segment. It's called Hot Reads, and it's one question for Jimmy and Chuck, one question for Josh and Vince. I will start with Jimmy and Chuck down there. The NCAA's big fix for faking injuries wasn't a rule change after all. Instead, coaches can now send video and complaints to the NCAA's top official for review, and then he can contact the teams involved and the league office. Will this cut down on fake injuries at all next year?
No. We had Steve Shaw on our show back in December, and the same thing was in place. You could send it to him. You could send it to the conference office. Nothing happened. What they want to do is for coaches to police themselves. Okay, let's put the fox in charge of the hen house.
Really?
That is going to do nothing to help this situation, in my opinion.
And you wonder if it was the coaches that kept it from not being any more, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's obvious solutions, and it has to be punitive. It has to be during the game that something is done. Otherwise, it's just going to continue. Maybe not as bad, but why wouldn't it be as bad? If you're trying to win a ball game and you think that's your best shot, the coaches that do it are still going to do it.
John, we had Steve Shaw on. He said they will definitely implement a penalty, and they didn't.
Right. The only thing they're implementing is he gets more tape sent to him.
Yeah. So.
And the thing is, like, he's going to send it back to a conference and say this is bad, and the conference is going to penalize their own team. I don't see this helping at all.
Need more public shaming.
Public shaming. I'm all for stockades.
Well, now, if you were to put a $100,000 fine with it, like a storming the court fine, maybe.
Look, the coaches aren't going to stop if you're fining the school. Fine the coaches. I think I said that a rabble-rouser statement that I threw out a few months ago on the show. Fine the coaches. You want to take this out? That's $500,000. What? They'll stop. They'll stop them.
Get up, boy.
All right, yeah, get up. Josh and Vince. There's no debating the passion of Tennessee fans. Now, sometimes the minority, the lunatic fringe, the passion can have them do things that bring a bad light on them a little bit.
Like when.
Yeah. But when you look at the positives of this fan base, this week alone, Zakai Ziegler's home in New York burns down. Vol fans raised $360,000 for his family. That's $310,000 more than the family had been put on the GoFundMe request. The Hoops crowd yesterday chanted, "We want Nico," regarding a top quarterback prospect who'd entered the building. Gave him a round of applause. Him and his family was there. After the game, Rick Barnes took the microphone to thank Vol fans for a year of great support, and we've talked about it today. The Rabble Rouser talked about it. Home court advantage has been fantastic for this team. My question is, all these fan bases are passionate, but if you're Danny White and you realize, wait a second, I got burned alive for saying text a buddy, that would scare you a little. But when you look at the positives of what can come from this fan base, if you can get it pulling in the right direction, is there any school in the SEC that has more potential and passion than Tennessee? Anybody in the SEC that you would say, yeah, this fan base does a little bit more or could do a little bit more, or is Tennessee at the top in the league?
No, I don't think so. I don't think Tennessee takes a backseat to anybody when it comes to that. And yes, that can lead to some of the negative storylines that pop up. But when the positive is there, and it was on display this week, and it's been on display a lot. Think about the World Series run with Tennessee baseball last year. Yeah, the positive can take Tennessee off in the right direction too.
I think there's so many things that Tennessee's fans have done that people hadn't heard of before. And you just take it to a whole nother level. Baseball's a great example from a year ago, raising this kind of money for Zakai Ziegler's family. The list goes on and on. Yes, the national attention on some of the negative stuff is out there too, but this fan base just seems to rise above and do things that haven't been seen before. And you know, it's Josh from recruiting. It resonates. This fan base resonates with recruits. People that come into this program, people that in this program, they talk about the fans a lot, the coaches do, and I don't think that's just an accident or a coincidence. I think it's real.
I've got a friend who works for he runs a national sports website, and he tells me that it's a college website, and he tells me that whenever they can, they drop stories about Tennessee and Nebraska, because those two fan bases, more than any other in the country, will click and retweet, and send it, and email it, and read it again, and post it on a message board. It's not even, their metrics are like Nebraska, Tennessee, everyone else. So I think when you're looking at that kind of passion, you've got 2-3 schools maybe in the country that have it. And, you know, it can lead that every fan base has a crazy group, you know, and it can make the crazy group here go a little further. That's why you get some of the bad pub. But boy, when they are pulling in the right direction,
Right.
and which is most of the time, that's pretty impressive. It was a good week for Vol fans. Good week for Vol fans.
Yep.
All right. When we come back, the search for a receivers coach. Hey, I started to read this last time. The search for a receivers coach goes on. And have we in the media partially ruined sports for the fans? I'll give you a roundabout reason for that question next. Going back on the Sports Source.